Hey everyone! Today, you'll be learning all the ways in which you can manipulate and take advantage of launch pads. If your usage of pads is limited to launching sky high into the air and slowly drifting back down to Earth, there's a ton of utility and survivability that you're missing out on that will increase your endgame performance significantly. But before we jump into all that, we've recently seen Epic hand out a number of bans to some of the game's top players, with Creo, Bucky, Keys, and Slacks all going down. We're curious what you all thought of the ban. Was it too harsh? Too lenient? Be sure to let us know in the comments. And if you want to see more high quality Fortnite guides every week, be sure to slap those like and subscribe buttons. Alright, let's jump back into the guide. So the central idea here is controlling your trajectory with builds above your launch pad. This is to limit the amount of time that you spend a sitting duck in mid-air, getting beamed from all over the place. Low launches, like the ones that you're seeing now, are incredibly useful for endgame rotations when you know other players are near, or when you're trying to escape a fight mid-game with someone shooting you. Using these methods, rather than just launching with nothing above you, will save your life regularly, so let's jump into exactly how to execute all the best strats. Alright, the first, lowest launch is to build a ramp on top of yourself while on a floor, then build the pad beneath you. This method will allow you to travel roughly 60 meters on level ground, and should be used when you either don't need to travel far or really need to avoid being in the air for a long time, like if there's a lot of people nearby or shots already flying in your direction. Just make sure that you're far enough up on the ramp so you don't clip on top of it. The second method for low launching is to place your ramp on top of a wall so that it is one tile higher. This results in a slightly higher launch than the last option, allowing you to travel about 10 meters more. In this clip, we see Clix using this exact method because there's a small hill ahead of him that he needs to get over. And we can see that even with such a low launch, he still almost dies. Had Clix not used a low launch here, he would have died for sure. Alright, for our third method, we have an even safer way to safely launch from safety. As you can see, when you're boxed up, you can edit your roof into the corner, then turn that cone into a ramp. This is a great way to set up without being shot, and recycle mats that you already used to box up. Okay, so those are the three main low launch methods that you'll need to know to survive endgame rotations or just escape a bad fight. Let's now quickly touch on a couple of other small topics before we head out. First off, there's another stylish, maybe not so necessary low launch method that you can use to chase down opponents. So if you set up for this launch that we touched on earlier, but now add a floor to the end of the ramp, it will cancel your glider, sending you back down to the ground. What makes this so cool is that you are immune to fall damage using this method. In this clip, Mr. Savage is on the high ground attempting to prevent his opponent from healing. To reach the low ground and keep up the chase, he uses this technique. Could he have achieved essentially the same thing without using a pad? Well, probably, but that wouldn't look nearly as cool. This clip here also shows him using the same method to cross a short distance between towers and pressure an opponent. Again, this isn't the most game-changing tip you'll ever find, but we thought it was pretty cool, so there you go. Alright, the last thing to touch on here is how to bunny hop when you land from a launch pad to cover some extra distance quickly. This extra long, momentum-fueled jump requires you to time your jump fairly precisely when you land. However, for PC players, you can set a second jump bind to scroll, whichever one you aren't using for edit resets, and simply be scrolling when you land to execute the bunny hop every time with ease. Again, this isn't a super game-breaking tip, so if you're on controller and can't use this scroll trick, I wouldn't worry about it at all. Okay, that's it for this quick video on launch pads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.